Olympia Mary Dukakis was a Greek-American actress, director, producer, teacher, and activist. She performed in over 130 stage productions, over 60 films, and in 50 television series. Best known as a screen actress, she started her career in theater. Not long after her arrival in New York City, she won an Obie Award for Best Actress in 1963 for her off-Broadway performance in Bertolt Brecht's Man Equals Man. She later moved to film acting and won an Academy Award and a Golden Globe, among other accolades, for her performance in Moonstruck. She received another Golden Globe nomination for Sinatra and Emmy Award nominations for Lucky Day, More Tales of the City, and Joan of Arc. In July 2003, Dukakis' autobiography, Ask Me Again Tomorrow, A Life in Progress, was released and praised. In 2020, a feature-length documentary about her life, titled Olympia, was released theatrically in the United States. Early life. Olympia Dukakis was born in Lowell, Massachusetts, the daughter of Alexandra Alec and Konstantin Kosta S. Dukakis. Her parents were Greek immigrants, her father originally from Anatolia and her mother from the Peloponnese. She had a brother named Apollo, 6 years her junior. As a girl, she dominated in sports and was a 3-time New England fencing champion. She contended with pressures within her patriarchal Greek family and around her, in a neighborhood where ethnic discrimination, particularly against Greeks, was routine. She was an alumna of Arlington High School in Arlington, Massachusetts, and was educated at Boston University where she majored in physical therapy, achieving a BA, which she made use of when treating patients with polio during the epidemic. She later returned to BU and earned a Master of Fine Arts degree. Dukakis appeared in a number of films, including Steel Magnolias, Mr. Holland's Opus, Jane Austen's Mafia, The Thing About My Folks, and Moonstruck, for which she won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. She also played the role of Anna Madrigal in the Tales of the City television miniseries, which garnered her an Emmy Award nomination, and appeared on Search for Tomorrow as Dr. Barbara Moreno, who romanced Stu Bergman. She appeared as Dolly Sinatra in the miniseries of Frank Sinatra's life. Moonstruck was directed by Norman Jewison, who predicted Olympia would receive honors for the role. She believed him after receiving the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. In addition to her Oscar, she took the Golden Globe in the same category. The honors compounded as she collected the Los Angeles and New York Film Critics Awards, all in recognition of her talent, some acting improvised, as she delivered a serious while hilarious performance. The role of a no-nonsense matriarch, Rose Castorini, plays off Cher's Best Actress award-winning role as daughter Loretta. She was nominated for the Canadian Academy Award for the event, and in the middle of the first decade of the 21st century, her roles included Three Needles, The Librarian, Return to King Solomon's Mines, In the Land of Women, and Away from Her, the 2006 film which cast her alongside Gordon Pinsent as the spouses of 2 Alzheimer's patients. She took on powerful roles on the small screen as well. In 1998, she starred as Charlotte Kishko in the British TV drama A Life for a Life, the true story of Stefan Kishko, based on the actual story of a man wrongfully imprisoned for 17 years for the murder of a child, Leslie Mulseed, after police suppressed evidence of his innocence. In another genre entirely, she provided the voice of Grandpa's love interest for The Simpsons episode The Old Man and the Key. In 2008, Dukakis directed the world premiere production of Todd Logan's Botanic Garden at Victory Gardens Theater in Chicago, Illinois. That same year she starred in the revival of Tennessee Williams' The Milk Train Doesn't Stop Here Anymore, opposite Kevin Anderson at the Hartford Stage, and co-adapted and starred in the world premiere of Another Side of the Island, based on Shakespeare's The Tempest, at Alpine Theater Project in Whitefish, Montana. In 2011, Dukakis guest starred on Law & Order, Special Victims Unit. She played the role of Debbie Marsh, an attorney. In 2013, she starred in and executive produced the 2013 film Montana Amazon, co-starring Haley Joel Osment. That same year, on May 24, she was honored with the 2,498th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame located at 6233 Hollywood Boulevard, in the category of live theater. In 2018, Olympia Dukakis starred in Alephthyromania, which follows an Auschwitz survivor as she recites a true story about a group from the Auschwitz-Birkenau death camp. The following year, Dukakis reprised the role of Anna Madrigal, which she had first played in 1993, in a Netflix update of Armistead Maupin's Tales of the City. In 2018, Olympia, An American documentary film about her life and career had its festival premiere at DOC NYC. The film, directed by Harry Maver Michaelis, features Whoopi Goldberg, Laura Linney, Ed Asner, Lainey Kazan, Armistead Maupin, Austin Pendleton, Diane Ladd, and her cousin Governor Michael Dukakis. It was released theatrically in the United States on July 9, 2020 and on VOD March 23, 2021. Stage. Prior to her fame on the big screen, Dukakis began her decades-long stage life working in 1961 in productions at the Williamstown Summer Theater, in a town found in the very top left corner of Massachusetts. Once out of that corner of New England and hitting the pavement of the Great White Way, it didn't take long for her to be recognized for her talent and skill. In 1963, Dukakis' early life off-Broadway was rewarded with an Obie Award for Distinguished Performance, as Widow Lee Katie Big Bick in Man Equals Man. But her stage work began across the summer of 1961. In productions at the Williamstown Summer Theater, she continued to perform there every few years, with her last appearance on that stage occurring in 2003, where she played multiple roles in the Chekhov cycle. In 1963, she began a life of both stage and screen. Transitioning to a professional life centered in New York City, she performed many times in productions in Central Park at the renowned Delacorte Theater. Returning to Western Massachusetts in 2013 for her last stage performance, she played Mother Courage in Mother Courage and Her Children at Shakespeare and Company, in Lenox, Massachusetts. With her husband, Louis Zorich, and with other acting couples, she co-founded the Whole Theater Company. The company's first play was Our Town, in 1973. With Dukakis serving as artistic director, the theater rolled out 5 productions a season over almost 2 decades. Across that span, productions included the works of Euripides, Eugene O'Neill, Samuel Beckett, Tennessee Williams, Edward Albee, Lanford Wilson, and received critical praise. Among the actors performing with Olympia and Louis were Jose Ferrer, Colleen Dewhurst, Blythe Danner, and Samuel L. Jackson. Dukakis' prolific stage directing credits include many of the classics, Orpheus Descending, The House of Bernarda Alba, Uncle Vanya, and A Touch of the Poet, as well as the more contemporary, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Kennedy's Children. She also adapted such plays as Mother Courage and The Trojan Women for her Montclair, New Jersey-situated theater company. Her Broadway theater credits include Who's Who in Hell and Social Security. She appeared in Martin Sherman's one-woman play, Rose, entirely a monologue about a woman who survived the Warsaw Ghetto, in London and then on Broadway. For the role, she won the 2000 Outer Critics Circle Awards for Outstanding Solo Performance. 22 years after earning her first Obie, she won her second in 1985, a performance award, for playing Sut Hudlock in The Marriage of Bet and Boo. Personal life. In 1962, Olympia Dukakis married the fellow Manhattan theater actor Louis Zorich. Planning for a family, they moved out of the city in 1970 to settle in Montclair, New Jersey. It was there they raised their 3 children, Christina, Peter, and Stefan. She and Louis had 3 grandchildren. In her 2003 national best-selling autobiography, Ask Me Again Tomorrow, A Life in Progress, she describes the challenges she faced as a first-generation Greek American in an area with anti-Greek ethnic bigotry, violence, and discrimination, difficulties with her mother and in other relationships, and battles with substances and chronic illness. But her life off the screen and stage was very active. She taught acting for 15 years at NYU, and gave master classes for professional theater universities, colleges, and companies across the country. She received the National Arts Club Medal of Honor and, in 2013, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. For 10 years, until Indian mentor Shamata Gayatri Devi died, she studied with him in the Vedanta school of Hindu philosophy. A strong advocate for women's rights and LGBTQ rights, including same-sex marriage, she embraced the roles of a trans landlady in Tales of the City, and a butch lesbian in Cloudburst. She was a figure on the lecture circuit discussing topics such as women living with chronic illness, life in the theater, the environment, and feminism. She is quoted as having said, "I recognize that the real pulse of life is transformation, yet I work in a world dominated by men and the things men value, where transformation is not the coinage. It's not even the language." Death. Dukakis died at her home in New York City on May 1, 2021, at the age of 89.